Am I the idiot for ending a 30-year friendship? Me, male 43, and my best friend, male 42, have been like brothers since 8th grade. I have been there for pretty much every milestone in his and his family's life. No matter what, he was my brother from another mother, and we behaved as such. Over the last 10 or so years we didn't hang as much, both have demanding careers, so any time we got to hang was very much cherished. The last 5 or 6 times we were supposed to hang he straight up ghosted me. No call, no text, just plain not showing up. I would often hear from him the day after with an apology, and usually blaming his GF for not being able to get out the house. And as I always told him I understood, maybe we'll catch up next time. So my birthday came up and he offered to treat me to wings and beer at the sports bar while watching the NCAA tourney. I took him up on it as it's been almost a year since we've seen each other even though we live in the same city. So we made plans to meet up at 5 p.m. 5:30, no show. 6 p.m. no show. I bet you guys can see where this is going. So I stayed and enjoyed my wings until the game was done and went home. I told my wife what happened and told her I'm over the friendship. She said we are too close for me to just throw our brotherhood away, but I told her I'm only matching his energy. If our brotherhood doesn't merit a courtesy call or text to inform me you can't make it, especially after being the one to invite me out, then that's no brotherhood I want to be a part of. Am I the idiot for this? Now for a few comments before the first update. It's sad really. The fact it's him seeming to make arrangements to me seems that he does want to see you. But it's not good to keep doing this either. Maybe message him and ask what's seriously going on and that you're on the verge of giving up with him and see what he says? Then the original poster responded with, I honestly believe it's his GF. She's a lot younger than us, and she always seems uncomfortable around us. My wife has tried several times to get her to join her for a girls' night out, but she always declines. It's an open door policy for them at our home, so I really don't know what this all is. Comment 2. I have a question. Have you told him how you're honestly feeling? Then the original poster responded with, I have. It's mainly his GF. He blames her for not coming out. Says she doesn't have any friends and if he left to come out with me, she'll be alone. My wife has tried to invite her out when we do decide to hang so she wouldn't be in the house, but she always declines. Now for the first update. First of all, let me thank everyone for their advice and judgment. So yesterday, I went to my BFF office and waited until he left for lunch. He was surprised to see me, and we headed to DD for coffee and to talk. So I put it out there that I am contemplating being done with our friendship due entirely to him ghosting me and not reaching out. He proceeded to show me his phone log and text messages. His GF constantly calls and texts him all day when he's working. She tracks his whereabouts through his iCloud. He found an AirTag in his spare tire well. He says she's neurotic about him and everything he does. If he tries to leave the house for anything, he has to take her along or she'll throw a fit, hide his wallet, phone, keys, etc. I asked him flat out why he is still with her. He tells me she has no family on this side of the country, she's from Arizona, and he can't kick her out. He said he reached out to her brother to help get her back home, but he doesn't take him seriously. I told him to change his iCloud password, go home before she gets off, pack a bag and come stay with me. I feel like this woman is something out of a killer movie and she may hurt him or herself. It's not healthy and a highly dangerous situation to be in. So for now he's staying with us while trying to find a way to get her out of his life. Now for a few comments before the final update. Comment 1. I'm so glad you had the conversation with him, and that you're helping him. She sounds toxic and dangerous. He's really lucky to have such a great friend. Then the original poster responded with, the funny thing is I would have never guessed. She's the smallest, quietest woman. Never gave me that psycho vibe. Comment 2. I was afraid it was something like this and sad to be wrong, but also glad you have an answer and can help him out. Too often when men are in a situation like this, people do not take it seriously, as if a woman couldn't hurt a man. I'm sorry for what he is going through, but I'm glad he has you to lean on and help him out. Please keep us updated when he is free of her and safe. Comment 3. Yikes. You're a very good friend. I'm glad that you followed through and got to the root of the problem. His girlfriend is a stalker, and she's terrifying. Get that AirTag turned off by Apple because the way she's using it is in violation of Apple policy. You should probably get some security cameras for your house just to document anything that she may try to do to you. Document everything with police reports. Get familiar with the stalking laws in your area. Now for the final update. Thanks to all who reached out in the comments and private messages. Well, a lot has happened this past week. So BFF came to stay with wife and I, and sure enough that first night she blew his phone up. He didn't answer and it went until about 1 a.m. Between the hours of 2 and 6 a.m., she rode past my house about 15 times. I live at the end of my cul-de-sac, so she has to U-turn right in front of my home to get out. I set the geofencing on my ring cam to stretch past my driveway just to see if she would drive by. She didn't see his car, it was in the garage, so she would sit for a couple of minutes and drive by. He was able to avoid seeing her for about 3 days, then she started calling everyone he knew to try and find him. He would alternate getting a ride from me or an Uber so she wouldn't see his car at work. In the meantime, we tried to find a way to get her out of his apartment. He lives in one of those luxury apartments where there is a limit on how long your visitors can stay, in his case 30 days. So we proceeded with a plan to evict her without involving the law. So Sunday while she was at church, we convinced his management company that he lost his key fob, so they reprogrammed his reader and gave him 2 new fobs. My wife and I helped him pack up all her belongings, put them in his storage unit on the ground level, and instructed the concierge that she was no longer welcomed in his place and to allow her access to his storage to retrieve her belongings. His building has a no soliciting rule and a pre-approved guest list, so he told them she was no longer allowed up to his apartment. His building is very strict in that no one can stay there without being added to the lease for more than 30 consecutive days. Since she isn't on the lease, she is effectively excommunicado, and there is no recourse because she isn't a leaseholder. She still calls and texts, but he has yet to see her since he came to stay with us. His sister the cop found out what was going on from my wife and she lost her poop. Needless to say, we had to talk her down about putting her career in jeopardy. For now, the ex-GF is gone from his place, and we just have to see how long it takes her to get the hint. Comment 1. This is a brilliant update. I do have to say I feel bad for you, but mostly your BFF, cause we're so quick to judge our friends, and we don't realize they actually need help. There's been some stories where OPs would block their friends without a second thought. I can't imagine what would have happened had you never been told about BFF's life. I think us commenters need to be extra mindful. Comment 2. Honestly, I think you are an enabler for your friend. Instead of helping him deal with his relationship problems, you should have encouraged him to communicate and work it out with his girlfriend. Now you've gone and intervened, possibly ruining their chance to resolve their issues. You invaded her privacy with the ring cam and manipulated the management company to evict her without legal involvement. You should have stayed out of it and let them handle their own problems. Your actions were extreme and unnecessary. If he wanted her out, he should have been the one to take the necessary steps, not you. Your friend deserves the right to make his own decisions, and you have undermined that. Am I the idiot for calling out your meddling and overstepping boundaries? Comment 3. I'm really glad you investigated more rather than just dropping him. It would have been devastating to him to go through all of that emotional abuse and isolation with no one in his corner. You're an awesome friend. Now, for the next story. Am I the idiot for cutting contact with my family before my miscarriage? Before we get into this story, it contains very strong themes, so if you are triggered by sexual attacks or domestic attacks, I do not recommend listening. I, female 20, was raped when I was 17. For some background info, I'm from an Islamic country. I'm in the modern part of the country, but people are still Muslim. When I was 17, I was raped by multiple men. I don't remember much about it. I was in hospital for weeks and my brain just can't remember what exactly happened. I just know somehow I got pregnant with someone's baby. My then boyfriend, male, 17 at that time, was my biggest supporter. My family didn't take those well. They didn't say it was my mistake to get raped, but they acted like that. They couldn't even look me in the face for days. It was a hard decision, but I chose to give birth and have the baby. My boyfriend was totally okay with it. He has the purest heart, thanks to God. When my dad heard about my choice, he punched me in the face. Told me I'm not his daughter anymore. If I give birth to that evil child, I will never be welcomed in their house, my house. My mom was always scared of my dad, so she didn't do anything, just watched him punching me. I packed my things and left for my boyfriend's house. His mom and stepdad were amazing. They helped me so much. They treated me like I'm their own daughter. I was so sad about my own family. I wanted to get an abortion and go home. But I just couldn't. I begged my dad. I begged him for months, but he kept ignoring me. So I stopped trying. COVID hit. I was home 24/7. Then something terrible happened. I got COVID and my baby died when I was 6 months pregnant. I still can't get over it. I knew his father was an evil person. But I felt him in my tummy. I felt him moving and heard his heartbeat. I'm still taking medicine because of my depression. Anyways, my boyfriend proposed to me a couple days ago. I posted it on my Instagram account. I haven't posted anything since my pregnancy. My aunt saw it and screenshotted it to my mom. She called me. We talked over the phone for 1 hour and I told her about my miscarriage. She was over the moon and told my dad. Now they want to rebuild our family relationship. But I don't want them in my life anymore. My cousins, uncles, aunts, everybody told me I'm acting like a child and being selfish. I'm just confused. Isn't my dad the selfish one? Now for a few comments before the first update. You are not the idiot. What your dad did and said is disgusting. You're lucky to have a good man in your husband and good in-laws. I would never speak to a so-called family that treated me like that, but especially after such a horrific incident. You experienced violence, and your dad's response to that was to heap more violence upon you. That's a monster comment too. Not the idiot. You are not acting like a selfish child. You are acting like an adult who can choose who and what she wants in her life. Don't go back to your family. They offer nothing but abuse. FYI, your dad is not only selfish but an idiot. Comment 3. Your fiancé's parents took you in to love and support you in your worst moment. Your fiancé has stayed by your side. You know who your family is. Not the idiot. I'm so sorry for your loss, but I hope you can start a new chapter. Now for the first update. I read all of your comments. All of them. And talked to my fiancé's family. We agreed that I should forgive my mother, but still no contact. My dad was an abusive husband all of their marriage, and there's nothing we can do about it. Like I said, in my country people just believe male supremacy. This is so common that a husband beats his wife, child. I'll talk to my mother. My heart still can't fully forgive her. But I'll try my best. After that we're planning to move to another country. I don't know where. But my fiancé said he got this. He wants me to start a new chapter. I don't want any other pregnancy right now, so we will wait till I recover. My 21st birthday is next month. I'm planning to see my family one last time. In your comments you guys said they're not my real family. You guys are right, I know and feel that. But I'm a soft person too, like my fiancé. My heart just can't take it all. I'll see them one last time, then zero contact. My fiancé's family is okay with us moving to another country. They support us in everything. Financially or so. My mother-in-law just cried that she will miss me so much when we told them we're planning to go away from here. Now for a few comments before the final update. If you are going to meet them one last time, please be very careful. Take precautions, don't go alone, etc. It's sad, but there are times when the family goes into extreme measures to make sure you don't get your way. I hope you and your partner get to be happy together, wherever you end up in the world. You have plenty of time to start a new and wonderful family that will include only people that love and respect you. I know this is why feminism and fighting for women's rights is actually important. While it gets a bad rep because of misinformation and silly first world problems, examples that are shared to belittle the true cause, we often forget that in other countries women are still struggling to get basic human rights and lives are being literally destroyed by old and dangerous misogynistic beliefs. Good for you for breaking free. Comment 2. Don't tell your folks that you're leaving the country. That way they can't stop you, or at least your father cannot stop you. Let your mother know after you have gone. Spend as much time with her when you meet up as you can. If she doesn't know you're going, she can't tell her husband a lie if he asks where you are. Now for the final update. I'm not in my home country anymore. We moved in with my husband. I'm just so happy that we made it. We didn't have a wedding, unfortunately. Just us and his family had a nice dinner at a beautiful fancy restaurant, and it was perfect. I met my family almost 2 weeks ago. You guys were right. So, my husband and some of his friends were with me. I met my family at a local restaurant we always go to. We talked and I was so clear about my decisions. My dad didn't take that well again. I told them I have nothing to do with them, and I'm just there because I wanted to clear everything. After my dad realized I was serious, he tried to attack me. My husband and his friends were not at our table. So they just came to ours and started pushing my dad till they're out of the restaurant. I don't know what they did to my dad. My husband was trying to calm me. When his friends said it was done and we could go outside, we did and went home. The very next day we were out of the country. We're kinda at our honeymoon phase. I saw our new home. But we're at a 5-star hotel right now. He says that I deserved it in every way. I feel so perfect. I am truly happy. I'm sleeping well, swimming, drinking cocktails, dancing, eating tasty food. It feels like I'm in heaven. I was never a hijabi girl. So please don't judge me for swimming, and I have faith again. I just can't describe how adorable I feel. I'm so lucky that I have a husband like him. I love him so much. He's reading what I'm writing right now. You have the perfect heart, my love. And I'm ready to get pregnant again. I feel free to live my life. Like a restart. I'll never forget my son. I'll never forget how his heart beat. How little he was. I'll always have a son. I was just a child when I made that decision to give birth, but I would do the same again and again. I'm so excited to give him his little brother/sisters. Thank you for all your support. I'll give an update if I ever get pregnant. You helped me so much through this. I still can't believe I made it. We made it. I hope all of you find the love of your life. He's the reason I'm alive at this point. Please don't waste your time on people who don't deserve it. It can be your parents or partners. Please, for me, live a beautiful life. Comment 1. I'm so happy for you and your husband. I wish you and your future family the best while honoring the memory of your son. Love a beautiful life. Comment 2. If you believe in reincarnation, I've heard that the souls of our lost babies can return to us in future children. I wish you a beautiful life of love, happiness, and hopefully all the children you want. If you like this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day.